This is a follow-up on a story from back in early May, late April. Jeez, this has been a long time coming, but finally, after a long stretch of nothing, after everybody kind of thought that she was eventually going to skate on this, it was self-defense. Why did you stab him so many times then? But an OnlyFans model, Courtney Clenney, charged with murdering boyfriend at the Miami apartment. Yes, this was, you might remember some of these pictures that were here. Her boyfriend at the time, what's his nuts? Christian Obamselli, okay. They got apparently into a fight, and everybody surrounding the situation said that she's normally the aggressor in the relationship, and yeah, he would end up taking a beating from her on repeat, and anybody, saying it's like, well, did Christian do anything wrong? And they're kind of like, no, he was just a good dude, and he just ended up catching a bad beef from somebody who's being a little too spastic and a little too big for her britches, okay? And everything pointed to, well, that's just kind of murder from the outside looking in. And then, yeah, because she looked like this when the police showed up, I'm sure all of their IQ points just dropped 60. And they just seen, oh, crying blonde girl with tits out. We need to help her. That evil black man was probably trying to King Kong her upside of apartment building. We must help her. Get the fuck out of here. Come on now. Now, bitch is up on charges. Round of applause. Finally. She's still only going to end up serving like 60% of the time, even if she does get convicted. But I can imagine she's probably just going to cry some big old crocodile tears up there on the stand and come up with some fucking fantastical claim. We'll just see if this goes to trial or what the fuck ends up happening, because that's what I'm interested in. I just want to see some justice for this dude, because it seems like he got done dirty. OnlyFans star, Courtney Clenney has been charged with murder and stabbing to death of her estranged boyfriend at their Miami apartment earlier this year, according to reports. And another reason, and just another check in the column as to why you should never, ever, ever cohabitate with a girlfriend, okay? Unless you're intending on marrying somebody, or that is imminent, or within the next 6 months, never cohabitate with anybody, okay? That's only if you're intending on getting married, okay? Bitch should always have her own spot, okay? No fucking male should ever be coming to your place, because I don't know what it's like. There's different common law marriage laws throughout the 50 states and the 2 other territories as well. Everything's a little bit different in the states, okay? But I know specifically up here in Canada, okay, if you cohabitate with a woman, if she can prove it back, I believe it's 7 years, you are for all intents and purposes married, and then she's entitled to all your shit. And these bitches know this stuff in today's day and age, okay? Like, I heard a story, I was listening to an old video of John, Modern Life Dating. He was telling a story about how he was, the other guy in a very complicated marriage. I can sympathize. But he was telling a story about how the woman was telling him that all she needed to do is just stick it out for the next 2 years with her husband, okay, and that she'd be able to divorce him and get half of the assets and then just cry. She would say this, she said this literally, okay, that she would just cry in court and then she would get majority custody of the kids, because those were the laws in Florida, and she was saying that with a smile on her face. These bitches know exactly what it takes in order to just get across the finish line and then serve their own imperative and just move on to a new dick. I bet you she thought that she was above the law in this situation, okay? She could just say, it was self-defense, he was just getting violent with me, but not realizing that everybody else was lining up right behind his corpse to be like, she's the crazy one. It's pretty privileged, my guys. Anyways, 25-year-old influencer. I did 2 of the worst tags anybody can have. OnlyFans star, so you're selling your dignity, $9.99 a month. Congratulations. And influencer. It's just AIDS. It's all AIDS. Who goes by Courtney Tailor on social media. Clenney's not a bad name. It's like, it wouldn't be terrible, but I guess Courtney Tailor sounds a little bit trashier, whatever. Was arrested in Hawaii on Wednesday, continuing to grieve, right? And is currently awaiting extradition to Florida, where she'll face a second-degree murder charge for allegedly killing 27-year-old Christian Obamselli in April. It was April. Fuck's sakes. It took him that long to come to this conclusion. Her defense attorney, Frank Prieto, told the Miami Herald, Clenney had been in a rehab facility in Hawaii for substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder when she was picked up by police, her attorney said. Oh, just trying to lay a fucking alibi. I can see this from a mile away. Oh, he got me hooked on drugs. Yeah, a black guy's gonna get you hooked on cocaine. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. I don't know that for certain, but I'd imagine that's what the claim is, right? Oh, now I just can't trust men anymore. Now I have post-traumatic stress disorder. Hey, shut up and take accountability for the fact that you fucking killed him, stupid. I'm completely shocked, especially since we're cooperating with the investigation and offered to voluntarily surrender her if she were charged, Priero told the paper. We look forward to clearing her name in court. We all look forward to that. The model's arrest comes almost 4 months after prosecutors reopened the probe into the fatal stabbing. The only reason it got reopened is because everybody's seen this for exactly what the fuck it was. Some bitch getting off on pretty privilege. If there wasn't social media outcry on this stuff, she would have skated on this 100%. Clenney, who has 2 million Instagram simps, allegedly stabbed Obamseli in the chest on April 3rd following a fight in their luxury apartment. Their luxury apartment building in Miami's ritzy Edgewater neighborhood. Not familiar with that at all, but I'd imagine, based on the surroundings from the crime scene footage or crime scene pictures at the time, it looked like a pretty upscale neighborhood. And especially Miami nowadays, after all of the flight from New York and the surrounding blue states in the Northeast, wouldn't be too hard to imagine that's probably a $3,000 or $4,000 a month apartment. Which again, if Christian there was managing her account on OnlyFans, which, let's be honest, guys, you're texting some of these or messaging these OnlyFans or Instagram influencers that are out there, you're more or less talking to, especially if she's one of the more successful ones. I don't know what her OnlyFans account is, but it says that she has 2 million Instagram followers. She has a manager, okay? You're not talking to her. You were probably talking to him or one of his other cohorts as well. Her attorney has claimed that Clenney acted in self-defense when Obamseli attacked her after stalking her for several weeks. They lived together. There is no stalking. And again, she was getting a little too big for her britches. This is just me reading into this. And I don't think he was stabbed in the chest. I thought it was like the collarbone area or something like that. That seems to be what I recall. But again, if we get courtroom feed on this one, ooh, I look forward to covering this case. Instagram star was forced to stab Obamseli after he grabbed her by the throat. Again, I didn't see anything at the time, and again, there was no reports or nothing was noted from any of the officers that would show that there was any sign of struggle outside of, her tits falling out of an undersized bra. The couple, who had been dating for less than 2 years, why are you living together? The fuck is wrong with you? Ugh. Anyways, and they're, late 20s? Because, Buddy was, 25, 27 at the time. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with these people? And you're in Miami? Okay, she's hot, but you could do better. Video from the scene obtained by TMZ showed Clenney handcuffed and drenched in blood in a bra after the gruesome fight. And she was wearing pants, I think. According to the Herald, the pair had been living together for a few months at the apartment building, where staff noted multiple domestic incidents and even tried to evict them. Oh, she was a problem? Oh, she was a fucking problem. And again, red flag, okay? Whose name was on the lease? That's what's important, okay? Because if she was being a problem and his name was just on the lease, out. Now, go. Beat it. Lawyer Larry Handfield, who represents the Obamseli family, pushed police to reopen the investigation. Good for him. Good for him. He said that cops visited the couple on at least 4 occasions for domestic calls and noted Obamseli was never taken into custody or charged. Which is interesting, because I thought there was a mandatory arrest charge or a mandatory arrest statute in Florida. It was just the neighbors who were tired of hearing her screeching and yelling and being completely unreasonable, because let's just do a little bit of amateur body language analysis on this one. Other than the fact that the very obvious thing, the first thing that I notice is that they're both wearing matching gear and have also matching headbands. They aren't the same, but they're both wearing headbands, but the same pattern on his shorts and her bikini. She is in love with the camera, okay? And her clock is running fast, by the way. You can see some extra pudge right there. There is no regard for him at all whatsoever, okay? She just naturally has her one hand just hanging down it would be her right hand, and then her left hand, not over top of his hand at all, just kind of off to the side, like, yeah, no, we should probably look like we're together, but at the same time, you kind of repulse me. And he, on the other hand, is just like, yeah, one hand over, and then one hand in front, and just, eyes are dead, there's no spark there, okay? But of course, that's just one picture. We took a look the last time that we talked about this case, probably back in April when all this shit went down. Remember looking at some of those pictures, and again, she loves attention, and she's from Miami. I don't know anything about her background, but she posts a lot of stuff for Instagram, and yeah, it has an OnlyFans account. Let's be completely honest here. Somebody was thinking that they were hot shit because they were getting a lot of attention from a lot of people with some blue check marks. He thought that she could do better than some island boy. They were probably on breakup street real quickly. He wasn't giving in to any of her shit because she wanted to escalate the situation. Some sort of struggle ensued, and then Buddy ended up taking a fucking stab. Can't wait to see it play out in court. Hanfield, the lawyer, once again, Larry Hanfield, also emphasized that Clenney wasn't taken into custody despite allegedly having an open warrant for a 2015 public intoxication case from California. Oh, she's from California. She's from California, moved to Miami, and is constantly on social media. You can't make this stuff up. So public intoxication back in 2015, so 7 years ago. She's 25, so at 18 years old. How adorable. Clenney also was reportedly due in Texas court on a 2020 DUI charge at the time of the killing. Oh, great. So why didn't the police, who would have had really unfettered access to all of this information, why didn't they take her in? I think you guys know exactly why. Oh, the model claimed to be suicidal after the killing of Obam Selly and spent time in a mental institution. Official said, yeah, I feel bad for her for sure. Yeah, she's been crying a lot in public, but a wise man once said, the only time a woman's tears are real is when she's alone. I don't buy her story for a second. I'll love to see it play out in court, or we'll just see if she gets a plea deal, assault, and then just ends up doing community service. It'll be some fuck shit like that if that ends up happening. Hopefully it goes to trial. I'll be awaiting a final decision on that. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.